It was pretty close.
Trying to do it at the same time.
That's what we're trying to do.
That's a real game we should be reviewing. The clapping at once game.
All right. Well,
we're three nerds trying to make a clap track.
All you got to do is just all at once. It's like a high five. It's impossible.
welcome to Rule Books and Accessories.
Or 3 games play nerds.
Welcome to Rule Books and Accessories.
Where 3 nerds play games.
And tell you what we think about them.
Today, Zombicide
Black Plague.
That was metal.
Yeah.
I was so scared.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do the whole time but be scared. I'm watching the subscribers just drop right now. Slowly.
I'll cut just that part out.
Ding, 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 ding.
This week, Zombicide Black Plague by Cool Mini or Not. I picked this game, and let me tell you why.
Why?
Because everybody I've ever played this game with loves it, and so I thought it would be a good pick. But first, I want to say thank you for liking and subscribing to the podcast. We put a lot of work into making these things, and we just started out. We're doing great for only 2 episodes, but I want to conquer YouTube, baby. Like Rule Books and Accessories.
I want the gold plaque to hang right here.
Yeah, I want the button up there. We're not going to get there with 82 subscribers. I'm just kidding.
There's going to be more than 82 by the time this airs. You know that, right?
But no, really, thank you for everybody that did that, and please keep doing it. And we got some cool comments. You want to go through? I'm just going to pick some comments.
Oh, you should.
Yeah,
All
do
right.
it.
And I'll tell you
Read
what.
them. Read them
and
in your
3 nerds will tell you what they think about them.
You want me to read it in the dark voice again?
in your metal voice. Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay.
Nobody's going to know what they're saying.
I'd love it if you guys would do a full-on battle report and speaking about it.
What?
That was from Bryce. He wants us to do a full-on battle report and then speak about it afterwards. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Sure.
Listen, Bryce, if you can get these guys on board, man, I've been trying to do it since day 1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I got to get better at the game. I don't want to. There's no reason to do a battle report where, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Or Song of Ice and Fire.
Comedy sells too.
Yeah,
I got
that's
shot
true.
by some arrows and stuff and
The
reporting in.
Jessel says,
A Song of Ice and Fire has a great TTS mod. I recommend the board game Triumph and Tragedy. It is made for 3 people.
It doesn't really. I hope you do some ADR over this and it's like some cartoon voice doing it.
It's like
Like they're watching us cringe or me cringe and Rich laugh. And then it's like some My Little Pony. A battle report, please.
I mean, I don't think anybody knew that Bo was the Anderson Batman before tonight, but now it's definitely
Swear
clear.
to me.
please leave a comment. You might get read on the next episode. I really appreciate everybody that did that. But let's get into Zombicide Black Plague.
Let's do it. So, Zombicide is pretty much a straight up board game, right? Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Yeah.
No fancy terms here. Pretty cool game. What I'm eager to hear, Scott, first time playing Zombicide.
Oh,
What do you
yeah.
think, man?
I had some fun, even though, spoiler alert, we didn't win.
No.
I think that's a very important part of a game, is to still be able to have fun without, well, I don't want to argue about what having fun means again. But I had fun playing it, even though we went down in a giant, bloody pile of having every single miniature
I think
that was in the box on the board coming at us.
I think that's what was fun about it. You got like
was
completely
hopeless.
swarmed.
It was
Yeah.
absolutely hopeless.
And it seemed easy. It seemed easy until you had like one really hard turn. You had like one really bad turn that like really wiped it.
Yeah, and I called it, right? I was like, all right, I'm going to do this move, and it puts me in a precarious position. So if we flip any zombie activation cards, I'm going to die.
It would
Yeah.
have been great if it had been one the other way. Yeah.
But then we flipped the zombie activation
Exactly.
cards, and I died.
Yeah.
I put in work to get us there. I didn't last very long.
Yeah. It was one of those moments, like you said, where it's like, this is going to be like an extreme payoff or an extreme loss. And we just flipped the wrong card.
It was
Right.
about 3/4 through the game too, wasn't it? It was more than halfway through.
I'd say halfway. at
About
most.
halfway
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Because after
something
that,
like
there was hope for a little while. Then the hope slowly dwindled.
one thing I don't like about this game is that it to me, it doesn't really scale. Like the more people you have playing it, it's significantly easier. Like I played the same mission that we played like a week earlier, and we played it with 6 people, and it was like a breeze. Like it was easy to get through. It was much harder with us 3, and I think a whole lot more fun. Like I actually think 3 people felt like right. Maybe 4 people would still felt good too, but getting 6, I mean, it's great that you have a game that if you have that many people over, you can play, but it didn't feel the same. It didn't feel as much fun or, as complex.
Well, you also mentioned that when you guys play that Becca also kind of takes charge. She's like, you don't go over there. You stay with us. And I, we stayed together like at the very first, and I was like, well, I'm going over here to do my own thing. All right, I'm just going to go get these objectives.
What got us split up was the tunnel thing.
I got locked in a room that I couldn't get out of.
We were all like kind of going together, but then somehow or another our turns ended where we were on those separate ends of that tunnel, and then it made more sense for us to come out, and then we were split up.
Yeah, it was the mad race for the magic crossbow or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah. It turned out to be the flame scroll one. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I think it might be more fun to lose than to win, but so
it's like an actual zombie movie. How many of them do you watch where everybody's all happy and safe at the end?
Zombicide Black Plague is one of a franchise, right?
Yeah.
There are multiple versions. They all basically boil down to you were survivors in some sort of zombie or alien apocalypse, and you're just trying to survive.
Yeah.
The zombies don't want that. They want free meals. First thing you're going to do is you're going to pick your survivor from a motley cast of characters. And you got dwarves, elves, wizards. You've got humans. I like the bar wench. Because Slippery is my favorite rule in the game. Each one of those characters is going to get a dashboard. You're going to have 3 hit points. So if you take 3 hits in this game, you're dead. And there's not really any healing. There's a little bit hidden in there, but there's not a ton. The next thing you'll do, you'll pick your mission you're going to play. That's going to detail like how to lay out the map and what you need to do to win that scenario. More often than not, you just need to escape, which is easier said than done. So you pick a player. That person gets a first player marker. And what happens is each player will activate their character, and you will take 3 actions. And there's a long list of actions. You can try to open a door. You can move a space. You can make an attack. You can search rooms, try to find new loot, new ways to kill zombies.
Yeah.
So after all the players take all their actions, you have a zombie phase.
Right.
So the first thing you do is activate all zombies on the board. And as you mentioned, there are 4 different types of zombies, and they behave very similar. But some get more action, some are tougher, etc. So all the zombies on the board will activate, and then you will draw a spawn card for every zone on the map. Now, what's cool about that is if you have, like, let's say we're playing, and me and you are both still in our blue level, but Scott's killed enough zombies to get to orange level, we spawn at the orange level.
Right.
So you definitely want to try your best to stay around the same level so you're not just dealing with hordes you can't deal with.
Right, yeah. Exactly.
And then it's rinse and repeat till the game's won or lost.
Yeah.
Which one do you guys like Black Plague the most out of the 3 of them? Or is it just like whatever you might be in the mood for?
So there's the original Zombicide. There's Zombicide Black Plague. So I'll go through the dates. I wrote them down. So the original Zombie came out in 2012.
And that's like a modern...
Right, yeah. It's like The Walking Dead.
Type.
Kind
Dawn
of
of the Dead is the first thing I think of when I think of Zombicide. OG.
And it was like... I believe it was like one of the first like big Kickstarter games. Like I think they really like kind of pioneered that whole movement because even today, even though they know it's going to succeed, like they still do the whole Kickstarter thing to kind of hype up the game before its release. But they did the original Zombicide in 2012, and then they did Black Plague in 2015. That's the version of the game that we played, and personally, my favorite version that I've played so far. Which I've only played those 2. So
and Black Plague is it's a little bit of a different take on it, and I think that's what makes it so cool. So the original Zombicide, it's urban Dawn of the Dead that we talked about. This is medieval. Yeah. So you have dwarves and elves and wizards and like necromancers will show up, right? Like it's really cool.
It is cool. I like the fact that you do more melee in it then, I mean, you still have like crossbows and bow and arrows and stuff like that, but I think I tend to get into more melee range, whereas in the original Zombicide, you just capping zombies a lot.
Or your friends, if they were unfortunately in the square.
Yeah, they have a weird friendly fire rule in the first version of the game compared to the way the friendly fire rule works in Black Plague. It seems way more fair in Black Plague than the other rule. And then in 2019, they released the Zombicide Invaders, which is like a sci-fi, like alien type thing.
Yeah, so I picked that up actually toward end of last year. I've played it a few times. I thought it was my favorite at first, right? Like I played a few games, I really liked it, and I quickly came to realize that it's my least favorite.
Yeah.
What makes it different? That makes it less fun.
In Zombicide, you'll have all these rooms that are behind like locked doors. You have to bust the door down, and this is the same in the OG and Black Plague. In Invader, when you open a door, you don't spawn stuff in the rooms, right? At least I couldn't find anything about it in the rule book. The aliens,
that is different.
The aliens will only spawn at the spawn points, which just means you have more time to deal with things. You don't get that like unexpected, oh man, there's a thing in here. Now there are mold squares, so kind of like the xenomorph like hives, they'll have these spaces where like they've hived up a place and they'll spawn in there sometimes.
Yeah.
But they also added a mechanic. One of the fun things about Zombicide is like you'll be playing, you'll pop out an abomination, which is the big bad boss monster.
Right, yeah.
And this dude will chase you to the ends of the earth and you can't do anything about it because you have to find certain materials to build things to kill him.
Yeah.
Invader introduces a mechanic called coordinated assault. So basically, if I've got like a 5-shot SMG and I shoot this zombie, I shoot the A-bomb, I can go, I'm going to concentrated fire, I'm going to target him and roll my dice. So I roll my 5 dice and every 5 up is a hit. I multiply each hit by the damage, and if it's enough to kill him, it kills him.
Scott, why don't you remind us of our categories?
Okay, we've got our 5 categories. First one is the buy-in cost. Pretty self-explanatory there. Complexity is how easy or hard it is to learn. Then we have the quality of the contents, which is going to be a fun one talking about here. The fun factor and the competitiveness.
Right.
Which the competitiveness is we're gonna have to.
I think it's tough on this.
Move it around with different types of games as well.
Yeah.
So the definition of that. So what did we get on the buy-in cost? What did you guys think it was?
So buy-in costs collectively, we decided it was a C. But why don't we talk about why we decided that? Who wants to go first?
I'll go. So we touched on it earlier in the show. It's $100 for the core box.
Right.
Dude, I can go to the store and I can get 2.5 board games for that cost.
Yeah.
And we are just looking at this in the realm of board games, and this is what we're going to do going forward. When we're talking about a game, we're going to look at it in the realm of other games. LCGs and CCGs will be looked at kind of the same, but if it's a board game, it's a board game. If it's a miniature game, it's a miniature game. And we're looking at it in a vacuum of those type of games. We're no longer looking at like board games versus miniature games, et cetera. That just kind of... it gets muddled, and we take forever to decide that way.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Too many factors.
But yeah, I mean, just a steep price to buy it. It's a great game, and you only need to buy 1 box, but it's a steep price. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Is it worth $100? 100%.
Yeah, I think in my household it has been. We've played the heck out of that game, but it's still a lot of money, and I wouldn't say everybody would have the same fun with it that we did. Complexity. You want to go, Scott?
I did feel like I could just the way that you guys taught me how to play it.
Yeah,
was just to kind of play a couple rounds of it, and then and I'm not incredibly super into board games. I don't play them every week and all the time, but it was something that after 2, maybe even 2-3 turn or each of us playing around, I figured out, not even just like 1 or 2 turns, but me seeing Rich go and then me seeing Bo go, I pretty much figured out how it's going. Plus, I've obviously seen a couple of zombie films, so you kind of get the idea of how the tactics that don't work from watching zombie films.
Which I think we did one of those by getting trapped in a closet.
and winding up dying while being covered by every piece in the damn game, but... well, we got a complexity of B on this one because I think B is the complexity in it is it's easy to learn, but it's not simple, but it is easy to pick up.
Right. I think what kept it from being an A is like I don't know how much I don't know how much you could like study or try to become better at it, you know?
Right.
And I think in this genre, that's kind of difficult. I think that's what would make an A. Talking about how easy it is to teach the game. I've played this game with my mom, who doesn't play anything close to this, but she had a blast.
And where did she win?
Where did you play at?
We played at that actually wasn't true. We played at my house.
I didn't play at the beach, which is where you go to play games. Apparently,
Yeah.
we don't go in the water or anything. We just sit in a hotel room and play games the whole time.
Actually, that is kind of what we do a lot of. Yeah. So whenever I've had like my in-laws over, like when we play this game, we don't even teach people how to play. We just start playing, and then just like Scott said, after a few turns, they pick it up. Like, it's super easy to teach somebody to play Zombicide. So yeah, I think a B is a fair score for complexity. Quality of contents. This is probably the most disputed category this week. You think? It's decent. It's not terrible, but it's certainly not as good as some other board games.
Yeah, the quality of the miniatures is fine. So like when I look across the table and I see the pile of zombies, I can distinguish a fatty from a runner from a walker, and that's no problem. So they've done the job there in that from a distance I know what these pieces are and what they mean. But when I look at these, no part of me goes, I want to paint that. No part of me.
Yeah, I looked at them and didn't even think that, it would be cool if you made these guys with this, putrid skin. And I didn't even think about it. I haven't opened them up and looked at them.
Yeah, so I did paint many of mine. I didn't paint all of them, but partially because it was the first game of this type. Like I said, that kind of got me into this, and the miniatures are nice to learn to paint on, because if you mess something up, you just cover it in blood. It's really, how do you mess up a zombie? It's really easy to paint. But yeah, now that I have played more games and I've painted more miniatures, I can see how the quality of these don't compare to some others. Yeah.
That's going to lead me to a question for you. I'm going to pull up at the end of all this.
All right.
If I remember to ask you.
You want me to write it down?
No, I'll try to remember it after we talk about competitiveness.
It is worth noting that the quantity of components you get in this box is pretty.
Oh, God. Yeah.
You get a lot of zombies.
It was unbelievable how many were on that board. It really did feel like the hordes had broke loose.
Yeah.
And it's daunting, too, because you've got 10 coming from this, and you're like, all right, well, now we've got to spawn 4 over here and 6 over this one over here.
Yeah.
Just coming from every direction.
I will say the quality of the cardboard in the game, like, it's okay. It's normal cardboard, but it's very prone to, and I don't know if it's because of the size of the tiles or what, but mine have stayed pretty straight, but I've seen a lot that have bowed.
Mine bowed. Yeah. Mine bowed pretty harshly.
The thing that I will give it, I think the little cards for the spawning the zombies and the equipment cards are fairly good quality cards.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
They've almost got that laminated feel to them, and they're fairly thick. I never even sleeved mine. I know you're going to have an aneurysm because of that.
I have mine sleeved, yeah.
But, with board games, I don't typically sleeve everything as much as I do with card games and stuff. So.
Right, yeah.
I did like the tray and the way the cards fit into your bag on
That's
the
a
right
good point,
side of
too.
it. The design of the actual character tray was cool, where you have your right and left weapon, and then your dial across the bottom, and then the spot where you can literally put the cards in a.
I actually
file
didn't even
formation.
think about that. That's a good point too.
Yeah, those trays are dope.
And that's a Black Plague thing. They're just a big card in the original game.
Yeah, the trays are in Invader as well. I think it got implemented in Black Plague and stayed.
Yeah,
It's
people
really
like
good
that.
design.
Yeah.
Quality of contents is lower on the other one than in my book.
So I mean, I guess really the biggest thing that our complaint is about is the cardboard warpage and the quality of the miniatures. Although the miniatures are not terrible, they're not great.
I gotta ask, do the sweet dashboards and the quality of the cards bring it up though? Because we honestly,
I was going to say that.
We
yeah.
didn't talk about
We
the
didn't
quality.
talk about
That,
the
that
quality.
dashboard is that dashboard because it reminds me. It's something I'd like. Well, you can buy for Song of Ice and Fire. You can buy for Arkham Horror, the card game.
So
People make those dashboards on Etsy specifically to have cards put into places. Like this came right in the box.
yeah, that's very true.
and even the fact that they They thought to put. You also get like the little slots that your miniatures fit in and the pegs.
Yeah.
But they also thought to put extra of the little black arrows that snap onto the dashboard in case you like they fall off and you lose them. Right. So.
Dang, we're changing our own minds right now.
Yeah, well, hey, this is good radio.
That's how you make it. Yeah, well, I mean, a fair rating has got to be a fair rating, though.
So do we move
think
it?
that pulls it up to a B? Because we can't do a C plus because that's not.
I would
silly.
vote it. I think I would vote for a B.
I think I'm feeling B now.
Yeah.
We just didn't talk like
Yeah.
we were like the models are okay, the cardboard's bad. We didn't talk about the cards or any of this other extra stuff.
We need like a special sound effect for like whenever we
Just
like a
edit it in
If we-
right here.
a whoopsie. Yeah.
Whoopsie.
If we do like a where we changed our own minds on the show, yeah.
Wow.
That's fine. I think I'd actually be looking forward to seeing that. Did they talk themselves into a different opinion?
Yeah, I
this
think
ended with?
So we're unanimous. It's a B.
Yeah.
This
for
just
sure.
in, quality of contents is a B, not a C.
Breaking news. This is scrolling across the bottom of the screen right. I hope you can find scrolling effects when you're editing this together.
So, who wants to take fun factor?
Well, the fun factor, I think, it kind of come through with what we've been talking about already. As this is an earned A because, like I said, we went down in a bloody clump of nothing, and it was still a great time.
And I think that's what this game is. You know what I mean? Like it's a game that you pull out whenever you want to have fun with people over at your house or something like that. It's really easy to teach somebody, and it's just all about having fun.
You could yell and scream at each other and do every single kind of zombie cliche ever in the movies.
I have played a lot of board games with a lot of people, and I have had mixed reviews on a lot of board games from a lot of people. I myself don't love every board game I play. I have never played Zombicide with anyone and not everyone said they had fun, at least.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever played it with anybody that didn't like it. Competitiveness. This one's tough.
Why don't you take it, Bo?
It's tough because I don't know if competitiveness it fits on other games. Obviously, it's going to fit on Song of Ice and Fire, or it's going to fit on Magic. But maybe I don't want to say like harmonizing or because you don't really compete. But
Right.
But
I
you
would
can.
like to. I would
could.
like to say how well we organize with each other.
Yeah.
So that would be a higher grade than competitiveness because competitive in this is not.
Well, it's a weird word to use with this game. The
Yeah.
game is completely cooperative, right? So normally we would say this is an F. You don't compete against each other, but
What did we say for Marvel Champions? I don't remember now.
well, we were doing numbers.
That gives
We
you
just said
time.
that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Go back and check out our review. It's the first one.
The thing
Come back
is,
here
right.
after.
this is a game like when we're playing Marvel Champions. No part of me ever goes, "I'm going to hose these guys." But sometimes when I'm playing Zombicide, I'm like, "Man, I could just open this door and screw the world. I could just end it all." Man.
And it adds to the A and the fun factor because it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, but everybody at the table has that power. It's like you don't want to screw your friends, but sometimes it's hilarious.
Oh, at the
So-
end, I ran off and left Bo in the corner and ran into that. I told you, and he died. And I left him out there, and I tried to shut the door. And it
If
didn't work.
anybody won, Scott won. I mean,
Just because
if
I lived the longest, I don't
right,
know. I
you
don't-
lived the longest. Yeah, if anybody won, Scott won.
I don't know, man. I think the zombies won. They ate good. They ate real good when we
Yeah,
played.
They
yeah,
ate
yeah, zombies
two
won
really
for
scared
sure.
humans and one toasty little elf.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's hard. It's hard to say. So we gave it a D, but we wanted to note that the new version of the game, which you and I both backed, the Marvel Zombies Zombicide.
So excited for that.
Yeah, it's going to be so freaking sweet.
So expect there to actually be a review for that probably as fast as possible.
It will. We're going to do unboxings. We're going to do reviews. We're going to do mini paintings.
Oh,
we're going to
man.
do ASMRs. We're going to do.
Can we do like
We're going to do a family channel.
where I can go on road
Marvel
trips?
Zombies family channel.
Got some road trips with one of these minis, taking it in front of pictures in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah,
We're gonna
do everything.
we're gonna put Marvel Zombies in all of our family pictures.
Yeah.
I all in it, dude. I'm so pumped.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I have is I'm already like, what character do I play first? Because there's like 30 something characters that I personally want to play in that game.
And I'm excited to paint these because they're Marvel.
Yeah. Well, and they look like they're gonna be better quality. There's like fancy
Yeah.
bases and all.
It's yeah, they do. They have like more involved bases and things. I wonder how much. So in the Kickstarter images, they always look like so high res and stuff. I wonder how they're really going to look.
Well,
in
it's because you're
person,
looking
but-
at like the 3D.
yeah,
like,
right,
print
exactly,
STLs.
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how they come out.
Right,
But
yeah.
that's enough Marvel Zombicide for now.
Yeah,
Let's save
but the point we wanted to make is that there's going to be a PvP mode in it. There actually will be a literal competitive version of that version of the game.
So we'll be able to give it a different score. That time.
So that could actually raise the score. Right now, we're giving it a D.
I want you guys to know, this is a throwback, some people will get this, that if we ever do PvP, I'm going to play as Rhino, and I'm going to crush you guys.
I'll never want to fight Rhino again.
Be zombie Rhino.
Zombo.
I am fine either way.
Well, my callback is that I wanted to know when you were talking about painting these miniatures, how well you have done with the 40K miniature that Rich.
Let me tell you my progress. Let me tell you my progress
what's
on
going
that.
on with it. This is going to connect all the episodes.
So Rich gave me which one did you give me so you can say like what it was?
It's Armin of the Thousand Suns.
He's new, isn't he? Or is he?
Last 3 years. I don't
Okay,
remember.
so
exactly
he's
when it
fairly
came out.
in the
Okay.
grand scheme.
And what like faction or whatever it's from? I don't know anything
From the
about this
Thousand-
game.
From the Thousand Suns.
Oh, that's the name of the
Yeah, of the Thousand Suns.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll tell you my progress. So you gave it to me. It wasn't in a box. I
That was important. You
I
know,
moved it,
The box changes how you. God.
I was gonna make the joke that I got a box for it.
I went out and bought a box for Armin.
I moved it.
The paint doesn't go on it the same when there's no box around it.
So I moved it from your house to my car, and then when I got home that night, I moved it from my car to the shelf. I had company come over. I was kind of rush cleaning, so I threw it up on the top of the shelf. And then after they left, I moved it from the top of the shelf to my painting table, and that's where it is now. So that's how far I got.
It went home, but it doesn't have a box.
That's the progress so far.
That was 2 weeks ago, by the way.
So that was longer than that. It was. Oh no, it was after. It was after Ice and Fire.
In the time that you did all that, I
Yeah.
bought an entire army for another game.
Yeah, but have you painted any of them?
I assembled one of them.
Well, that's all right. So you're a step further.
He says, "Steph, how many people are in that army
That's
that you
true.
assembled?"
That I've assembled?
Yeah.
One.
Oh, okay.
Just
Yeah.
Not like the whole army was assembled.
It
at the
should
time
be noted that
one.
that was literally like 2 days ago.
Yeah. What I should assemble it and then like have you like grade it or something.
It's if you get anything other than an A on assembly,
Yeah.
then
that's
you
true.
lost.
That's true.
It's
We should have a paint contest. I'll paint mine and you paint the one I gave you, and we'll let Scott vote.
I won't even know who painted what, and I'll open my eyes and they'll be in front of me.
I
That's
don't
the way
want
we'd have to do it.
I don't want to say you're gonna know, but
I won't know. We'll just judge it. I'll judge it. I'm a very fair judge. I'm impartial. I've known them both. Well, no, I have known Rich more longer, but we'll have two boxes, and then you'll lift the boxes up and say which one, and I'll have like 5 seconds
right,
to pick.
see,
I'll
you'll
do
know
this.
right there because Bo doesn't have a box to lift.
He doesn't. Poor guy didn't come in a box.
All right, I'll do this. I'm down for this competition. And we're leaving this in the show, so like we have to do it. So
And also, I'm going to say right now that neither of you can subcontract anyone else to paint this. So
I wouldn't do
you
that.
can't hire Rich to paint your mini.
I wouldn't do that.
I was
So
gonna
I have to decide which one of Rich's paintings is better.
100% fair, 100% honor. We'll do this.
Assembling and painting your own minis, both of you.
I mean, man, I'm down.
And I will assemble in my typical manner like 20 of my orcs and not completely paint one of
Yeah.
them. Just paint like 30% of each one.
I got a feeling that my Song of Ice and Fire miniatures are about to fall in that category where I painted 3 of them and then felt satisfied and didn't touch the rest of them.
Yeah. I'm just going to prime them all one color.
You haven't felt happiness until you've actually painted a full army for a miniature game. Like when you can put your whole army on the table and go, man,
Yeah.
I did all that. It just feels good.
I believe it, man.
Time to get some speed paints and some contrast paints and some Wraithbone and
Yeah.
get on it.
Back in my day, we didn't have contrast paint.
Yeah.
I haven't used it
New
yet.
day.
I have contrast brown. That's the only one I have that I use.
There you go. All your models will be brown.
I'm going to paint my whole model brown.
The whole army's brown.
So what's the next game we're doing?
The next game that we're doing is moving to a different type of game, slightly with a pen and paper role playing game. We'll be playing Tales from the Loop, and more specifically, the adventure that we're going to be playing is called the Horror Movie Mayhem. There is something going down at the video store in town, and it's up to these kids to figure it out. We're going to be playing the game. Rich and Bo are going to be playing with a couple of my friends from our local game store, Empire Games. And we'll get some shots of that too. We'll be able to tell you how it went down and how they felt about it. And hopefully this rating system will be fun for that too.
That's going to be a lot of fun, man. I've had this game for a while and I haven't had a chance to play it yet. Next week.
Thanks.
Tales from the Loop.
Loop.
And we'll see you then.
Stories from the 80s that never were. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you do the little thumbs up thing.
Where anything could happen.
Make sure that your diet includes lots of potassium, because it's important for muscle.
Pass me the banana before I answer. 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 Pass me the banana before I answer.